I want to start this video with a simple question. When was the last time a South African government minister found out about a problem inside his department, and instead of denying it or hiding it or blaming someone else, he took ownership of the problem and actually did something about it? Take your time, because that question gets to the heart of what we are talking about today. Welcome back, and if you are new here, this is the show where we take the news beyond the headlines and ask what it actually means for you as a citizen of South Africa. I'm Rian Roux, and today we are talking about a procurement scandal inside the Department of Correctional Services and what it reveals about one of the ministers who seems to be actually doing his job. This is the Rian Roux Show. Let us start with the numbers because they are genuinely hard to believe. The Department of Correctional Services, yes, the department that runs our prison system, signed contracts with 115 suppliers to provide food, basic food, the kind you buy at the supermarket every week. Under those contracts, the department was paying 726 for a single litre of oil, cooking oil, 1 litre. The same litre of cooking oil you can walk into any Pick n Pay or Spar, Checkers today and buy for around 30 Rand. Gravy powder, the kind you add to water and stir, was being billed to the state at 3,735 Rand for a batch. That should cost around 920 Rand. And that's in the Gauteng region alone. These are not rounding errors. These are not administrative mistakes. A 2,400% markup on cooking oil does not happen by accident. Someone approved those prices. Someone signed those contracts. And for a period of time, that money was flowing out of the public purse and into private pockets. And Parliament's own Portfolio Committee chairperson confirmed it. Those prices were irrational and should never have passed internal procurement controls in the first place. Now, there are people who want to lay this directly at the feet of Pieter Groenewald. The DA has called it a scandal that happened under his watch and framed it as his failure. That argument sounds logical until you understand how government procurement actually works. A minister does not sit in the supply chain office approving individual line items on food contracts.
Now, I want to put it very clear that the PFMA, the Public Finance Management Act, is very strict and it prohibits any political office bearer to be involved in any tender process.
The procurement process is run by officials, supply chain managers, contract managers, the people whose job it is to verify that a price for cooking oil is not 25 times the market rate before they sign off. That system failed. Those officials failed. And the contract in question, contract H04 of 2023, was signed off in April 2025 in the early months of Groenewald's tenure. What a minister can do is set the culture, demand accountability, and act decisively the moment a problem surfaces. And that is exactly what happened here. When the inflated prices came to light, Groenewald did not issue a press release blaming his predecessors and hoped the story would go away, as we know some others do. The prices were renegotiated. Parliament was briefed openly. Nearly 2,400 departmental officials have been disciplined for corruption and misconduct in the past year. And a review of 4,600 transactions is now underway.
The process I started with the National Commissioner in reviewing the prices on perishable and non-perishable items start giving results. What you are seeing here is part of the starting of the process on that, and we will continue. also with other contracts in terms of looking at the inflated prices. And I fully agree with honorable members that at the end, there should be proper investigation on why the prices were as high as it was at before the renegotiations.
That is not the behavior of a minister who is part of a problem. That is the behavior of a minister who acts when the problem reaches him. The right way. The distinction matters. Ministerial accountability is real, and Groenewald owns it. But conflating accountability with personal culpability for a procurement process he does not run is political argument, not a factual one. And while all of this is happening, consider what else Groenewald has been doing inside the same department. 12 prison bakeries are now running nationally, saving the state more than 77 million rand on bread costs in a single financial year. Prison agricultural projects have generated savings of over 125 million rand through food produced inside the facilities themselves. Anti-contraband operations have confiscated more than 37,000 illegal cell phones and prohibited items from inside prisons. This is a minister reducing the department's dependence on outside suppliers. The very suppliers who just tried to charge the state 726 rand for a litre of cooking oil. That context is not incidental. It is the point. South Africans have spent decades watching ministers protect their departments from scrutiny. We've all seen the 3 Ds: denials, delays, deflection. The default response to a procurement scandal in this country has always been to manage the optics, not the problem. What makes Groenewald different is not that corruption did not happen on his watch. It did. What makes him different is what he did when it came to his attention. He acted. And that is why the conversation about his future has moved well beyond political circles. Now, I have a final question. To the supply chain officials who approved 726 rand cooking oil and let it pass through every internal control without a single flag, when will you be charged? Please do share this video with someone that you think needs to hear about this story. And if you have subscribed, thank you very much. It really does help the channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments section and let's discuss this further. And I will catch you in the next one.